Good morning and welcome to Chamber Chat. I am Marina Papanikolaou, CEO of the Greater Thames River Chamber of Commerce, and we're here this morning with Lisa Mazzuca from On Your Mark Design and Graphics and our GTRCC Chairman, Phil Brilliant. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. And welcome to Chamber Chat for February. I still want to know where January went, but we are in February. I'm very happy to be here with Lisa Mazzuca. We were talking beforehand, and we talk all the time. You are doing great stuff, and things are going very well for you. So let's start with the basics. Who is Lisa Mazzuca, and what is On the Mark?
You need all day, right? So,
yeah. This is a limited time here.
No kidding. On Your Mark Design and Graphics is the name of my company, and I do website design for small businesses and organizations, but I'm really focused on making sure that you get more leads from your small business website. So not only do I want to make sure that people are finding your site, but once they get there, I need them to reach out and contact you, because your success equals my success.
Right. Now, so how are you doing that? How are you getting more people? I mean, people can go to websites every day,
Yes.
but how are you getting them to jump from that website to make the connection to the people and do business?
Oh, they're Jedi mind tricks of web design, right? So-
Jedi mind tricks. I'm a Star Trek guy. No, so keep going.
Okay, I'm a Star Trek girl too, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's called conversion design elements. So you want to make sure that you're building trust when people get to the site. We want to put credibility logos up there if you belong to associations, or if you've done work for some really notable clients. We want to make sure that those are very prominent on your site, so that people understand that you are a credible and not fly-by-night business. Mm-hmm. We also want to use testimonials to your credit. So we want to make those very prominent because testimonials are like growing by word of mouth. And a lot of small businesses are used to saying, I don't even advertise, I just grow by word of mouth. So we do that, and hopefully we can even get some video testimonials, because those work really well.
And it's funny you say testimonials. Everyone's always like, you need Google reviews, which are great, but a lot of people don't like to, I gotta get a Gmail account, I gotta do all this, but I can easily get a testimonial. So how do you optimize a testimonial? How do you get that out in front of people?
So you put them on your website
with no technical information.
We can put them on our website. We can make our own videos talking about our clients' stories and expressing that and putting that out there. We can also use a free tool like Canva and create a graphic that features a testimonial and share those to our social media. So there's different ways to do it. The reason Google reviews are so important is because Google is the king of search engines.
Right.
So Google prioritizes companies that show a lot of Google reviews on their profile. Now, we also know that not all of your clients will have a Google account, and when prompted to create one in order to leave you a testimonial, they're gonna say,
no,
I don't want another password to remember, forget it, and they bounce. So for as many people as you ask, you're only gonna get a percentage of those people to actually leave you a Google review, but because it's so important in local search, we ask anyway. And if they don't follow through and do the Google review, then we'll gladly take a written testimonial or an email reply with nice words to say, because we'll use them in other ways.
Now, your clients' websites, how often are you in those websites? How often, they're always talking about you need to refresh information, you need to update your websites. I mean, how often is that? What is ideal and optimum to be able to really make sure that, I'm going to blow this, but you want them on the first page, you want them in the first 5, then all goes back to Google again. Correct. But so what does it take to really do that?
So what we do is we put code on the site that Google provides for analytics purposes. So Google Analytics and Google Search Console tell us different kinds of data, but it helps us to understand where your visitors are coming from and how they're finding you. So based on where you're coming up in searches, say for your business, it might be soil contamination in New Jersey. Say you're coming up number 15, which would be page 2 of Google, right. But we know now that data is there, that Google sees you for that search, but we're just not quite where we want to be for that. That indicates to us we need to create more content around that topic, that search, and then we'll continue to do better. So it helps to give us clues about the kind of content we need to create. And ideally, we're blogging for the business.
Gotcha.
Because consistent blogs will help to expand the site with relevant content, answer questions that people are going to Google to ask, and position you as someone who's an authority on the subject, which lends to your credibility, which increases your conversion rate.
Right. And you hear me say all the time that, really, one, you want to do business with people that you feel comfortable with, and two, you want to look like the expert in the industry. Because if you look like the experts, then people see you as the experts, and they come to you. And that's really what you want. So we talked a little about before we came on camera. So you started in 2001.
Yes.
How did you start? Why did you start? What was your goal? And then what if, so what are we, 22 years later?
Yeah.
Are we really 20? Yeah, we are 22 years later. How did you get to where you are today, and how different are you?
So I'm very different now in that I went to Rutgers. We're Rutgers alumni.
Rutgers alum, we're good. Who are you?
For visual art and communication. My goal since I was probably 13 was to be a Disney animator. So I took classes in drawing and painting and illustration, as well as communication courses. It turned out to be the communication part of my double major that sent me down to work for Disney World on the Disney World College program. And because I was a theater kid and because I was obsessed with becoming a Disney animator, I was a tour guide for the animation studio down there.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
When I came back, I worked for Disney Theatrical Productions in New York on Broadway. And during that time, the president of the Disney Animation Studio was my direct report when he was in town from California.
Oh, wow.
So I had the opportunity to be in front of these folks, to work next to creatives and to be part of the process. I got the opportunity to apply for a position that was a PA, a production assistant on an upcoming animated feature. Mm-hmm. At the same time, my husband and I were dating, and I actually made the tough decision with a lot of factors to stay local and go back to school at Parsons in the city. So I took a digital and graphic design certificate. I wanted to be marketable, and so I went back to school for that. So when I started my company in 2001, I was very heavily on the print design, graphic design side of my industry. And I was a coupon magazine designer from home in the beginning. That was my largest client. And I started publishing my own coupon magazine. So I was meeting local businesses. My father was always a small business owner. So I was very much in that mindset and really think very highly of small business owners and how brave small business owners are and financially independent and able to make their own decisions without being beholden to larger companies.
And starving on some days.
And starving on some,
project
driven.
But you know where
right?
you need to go after that, yeah.
Absolutely. So when I was doing these ads that were effective for these companies, I also saw them struggling with their web presence. And because I had my own web presence that I made for my coupon magazine, I wanted to come up in local searches for New Jersey restaurant coupons, right. Things like that. So I dug very deep into SEO myself for my own site, but these people needed help. And so I started offering those services to them. Printed coupon magazines delivered to 50,000 homes every 2 months locally have very high overhead. And you have to pay that bill whether you fill the book with ads or not. So I moved away.
Very stressful.
Yes, from that coupon magazine and started to deliver web services full time. So I've basically been focusing on the web since 2004.
Okay. Wow, that's been great. And so here we are. You're a member of the chamber.
Yes.
I think I don't know. I don't remember exactly if you were first prize or second or third. First prize in our program last year for attending the most networking events and attending the most chamber events. So congratulations on that. That is great. But you really make the chamber work for you. And there's two different types of chamber members. It's somebody who throws us the sign on their door and says, I'm a chamber member, thank you very much. And then there's people who work the chamber, network, attend events, and that's who you are. So I know the answer to the question, but I got to ask the question: how has the chamber helped you, and where do you see yourself today because of the chamber?
As someone who comes from the digital marketing space and knows the value of making sure that you're visible online, I can say from personal experience, I would never give up in person, face-to-face networking, building relationships with people, getting to know their businesses, getting to know the community, and making sure that the community knows me too. I can tell you this from before I even joined the chamber. Years ago, I used to be part of a networking group in Brick called Fishnet. And I met a couple of clients back then during that. One of them, I'm still doing her website today. And another one is Walter Meislon. He was our realtor when we bought and sold multiple properties. He was a realtor for my family, multiple members of my family. And then when my husband decided to become a realtor and switch careers, he went to Walter and joined Walter's brokerage to become a realtor and start his career there. Networking never goes away. No. Those relationships last decades, and I'm proof of that. So when it came time for me, I knew that I wanted to expand my business and get more clients to work with me. The first thing I thought of was joining an in-person networking group. I had heard wonderful things about the Greater Toms River Chamber of Commerce. I'd been following you online for quite some time before I joined, and I decided to pull the trigger and didn't hesitate to start coming to events right away and know that that's valuable and the most important thing. So since I joined, and that's just probably, it was last August, not this past August, but the August before,
the heart of COVID, yes. Yeah.
My business has more than tripled since
That's
then.
Fantastic.
So I can't say enough wonderful things. If you're even thinking about joining a local business networking group, the chamber is the one to join.
We should cut that clip, put that out all over the place. But this is more about you today.
Okay.
So how do people get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you? And I'm going to throw out there too is, when someone reaches out to you, how quick do you respond to them?
Oh, my business phone number is my cell phone number. My home address is what is out there on the internet, so you just need to search for me. I'm all over. But my name is Lisa Mazzuca. On Your Mark Design and Graphics. You can call me or text me at 732-496-4677, and you can find me online at onyourmarkdesigns.com.
Have an email address.
Lisa@onyourmarkdesigns.com.
That's pretty easy. So really thank you for joining us, and also thank you for being a great member. You
Thank
really,
you, Phil.
because it's, membership is two ways, okay? One is somebody who works as their business and to help their business grow, but you've also helped us as a chamber, let it be YouTube, let it be, SEO, whatever it might be, you have definitely helped us get to where we are, so we do appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Phil.
much.
I appreciate this.
Yep, so one more time, Lisa Mazzuca's phone number is?
732-496-4677.
And thank you very much for joining us this morning, and thank you for joining us this morning, and we will see you next month in March for Chamber Chat. Take care, bye-bye.